There is a conversation happening inside you. Right now, you are not aware of it. You cannot hear it. You did not start it. And you cannot stop it. It has been running since before you were old enough to form your first memory. And every day without your permission, without your awareness, and without your input, it is shaping your decisions, your behavior, your health, your relationships, and your results. Not occasionally. Not in moments of weakness. Every single day. Dr. Joseph Murphy spent decades studying this conversation in laboratories, in hospitals, in the lives of ordinary people who experienced results so extraordinary that the medical community had no framework to explain them. People who recovered from illnesses that statistics said were terminal. People who built wealth from nothing, not through strategy, but through a fundamental shift in what they believed was possible for them. People who broke patterns of failure, of fear, of limitation that had defined their families for generations. And what he found documented, studied, and published in a book that has now sold over 15 million copies was not mystical. It was mechanical. The subconscious mind operates on precise, observable principles, and the person who understands those principles holds a power over their own life that most people never discover. This is the power of your subconscious mind. And by the end of this video, you will never think about your own thinking the same way again. Let's break it. Section 1. 2 minds, 1 life. Murphy opens with the foundation that everything else is built on. You do not have 1 mind. You have 2 operating simultaneously, in completely different ways, toward completely different ends. The first is your conscious mind. This is the part you identify as yourself. The part that reasons, analyses, evaluates, and makes deliberate decisions. It is the gatekeeper, the part of you that can accept or reject an idea before it goes any deeper. The second is your subconscious mind. And this is where Murphy's argument becomes genuinely important. The subconscious does not reason. It does not evaluate. It does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It simply accepts whatever is repeatedly impressed upon it by the conscious mind, and immediately begins working to bring that impression into reality. It is not creative in the way. The conscious mind is creative. It is executive. It executes whatever program it has been given with complete commitment and without question. Here is the implication that changes everything. If the program running in your subconscious was written by fear, by limitation, by a childhood spent hearing what you couldn't do and who you couldn't be, then that program is being executed right now, today, in your body, in your decisions, in the situations you keep creating without understanding why. Not as punishment, as precision. The subconscious is not working against you. It is working exactly as it was designed, toward the targets it was given, before you were old enough to choose them. Change the program, and the execution changes with it. That is the entire argument of this book. Section 2. How the subconscious is programmed. Murphy identifies the primary mechanism through which the subconscious receives and accepts new programming. He calls it the law of belief. Whatever you believe, truly believe, at a level below conscious performance, your subconscious accepts as instruction and works to make real. Not what you say you believe, not what you tell other people you believe. What you actually believe, in the quiet of your own mind, when no one is watching, and the performance has stopped. And this is where most people discover the uncomfortable truth. They say they believe they can succeed, but underneath that statement is a deeper belief, quieter, older, more stubborn, that says, people like me don't. They say they believe they deserve love, but underneath is a program that was written in the first years of their life by people who may not have shown them love in the way they needed to receive it, They say they believe in their ability. But underneath is the voice of a teacher, a parent, a moment of public failure that has been running on repeat. At a frequency they can no longer consciously hear, but that shapes every choice they make. Murphy's prescription is not to force positivity over the top of that deeper belief. That is like painting over rust. The damage continues underneath. The prescription is to go to the level where the belief actually lives, the subconscious, and replace the program at the root. He identifies 3 primary ways this is done. Repetition. The subconscious responds to frequency. The thought impressed upon it once is registered but rarely acted on. The thought impressed upon it hundreds of times becomes a belief. The belief impressed upon it thousands of times becomes a fact indistinguishable to the subconscious from objective reality. This is why affirmations, done correctly, are not wishful thinking. They are programming. The critical distinction Murphy makes: affirmations said without feeling are words the conscious mind produces that the subconscious largely ignores. Affirmations said with genuine emotional conviction, with the feeling of the thing already being real, penetrate to the level where change actually happens. The hypnagogic state. Murphy places extraordinary emphasis on the moments just before sleep and just after waking, the threshold between conscious and unconscious awareness. In this state, the critical faculty of the conscious mind relaxes. The gatekeeper steps aside, and impressions reach the subconscious with unusual directness and depth. What you feed your mind in these moments matters more than almost anything else you do during the day. The person who reviews their fears before sleep programs their subconscious with fear. The person who holds a clear mental image of what they are building, felt as real, felt as present, programs their subconscious with possibility. Visualization with feeling. This is the technique Murphy returns to more than any other, and it is the one most people implement incorrectly. Visualization, as most people practice it, is a picture, an image of the desired outcome, held in the mind like a photograph. Murphy's distinction: the image alone does not penetrate the subconscious. What penetrates is the feeling attached to the image, the emotional reality of already being there, the body-level experience of having the thing, not wanting it, not imagining it, inhabiting it as though it is already true. This is not self-deception. It is the language the subconscious understands. Feed it images without feeling. It receives a note. Feed it images charged with genuine emotion. It receives a command. Section 3. The Practical Framework. Murphy gives you specific techniques for applying these principles. Here are the ones that produce the most consistent, most documented results. Technique 1. The Thankfulness Method. Before sleep, in the hypnagogic state, hold a mental image of your desire as though it has already been fulfilled. Then generate the feeling of genuine gratitude for the outcome as though it is already real. Gratitude, Murphy argues, is one of the most powerful emotional frequencies for subconscious programming because it contains no resistance. Worry asks for something. Fear resists something. Gratitude simply receives something that is already present. The subconscious responds to the emotional signal, not the logical content, and gratitude signals arrival, not wanting. Technique 2. The Passing Over Method. Murphy describes a simple process for releasing problems to the subconscious, instead of grinding them with the conscious mind. Most people attack problems consciously, analyzing, strategizing, worrying, past the point where the conscious mind has anything new to offer. Murphy's observation: the solution to most complex problems does not come while you are thinking about them. It comes in the shower, on a walk, in the moments between sleep and waking, in the spaces where the conscious mind quiets, and the subconscious, which has access to a vastly larger processing capacity, is finally allowed to work uninterrupted. The techniques state the problem clearly to yourself, then deliberately release it. Surrender it consciously, intentionally, to the subconscious with the trust that it is being worked on. Even when you are not aware of it, most people are too uncomfortable with the absence of conscious effort to let this work. The ones who can often find that the solution arrives with a clarity that weeks of grinding never produced. Technique 3, the mental movie. Murphy asks you to construct a complete mental scene, not a single image, but a scene that represents the desired outcome as already achieved. Who are you with? What are people saying? How does your body feel? What does the environment look and sound like? Run this scene with as much sensory detail and genuine emotion as you can generate as the last thing you hold in your mind before sleep. Do this consistently, without urgency, without grasping, with the relaxed confidence of someone who already knows the outcome. Murphy documented dozens of cases where this practice alone applied consistently, over weeks and months, produced results that had seemed structurally impossible beforehand, not through magic, through the gradual alignment of subconscious belief with consciously chosen intention. Section 4, the reframe that changes everything. Here is the idea from this book. I want you to carry beyond this video. Murphy makes a distinction that most people spend their entire lives never quite articulating, but feeling constantly. He separates the wishing mind from the believing mind. The wishing mind wants something, but does not expect it. It holds the desire at a distance, separated from the self by the silent conviction that it is for other people, not for someone like me. The believing mind is different. It holds the same desire, but from the inside, not reaching for it, inhabiting it, living already in the emotional reality of having arrived. And Murphy's central claim, backed by decades of observation, is that the subconscious cannot tell the difference between a belief held about the present and a belief held about the future. To the subconscious, a vivid, emotionally charged belief that something is true is treated as a current fact, and the subconscious immediately begins organizing your perception, your behavior, your instincts, and your circumstances around making that fact real. This is not law of attraction as entertainment. This is neurological reality, the brain's reticular activating system, filtering the world through the lens of whatever it has been programmed to look for. Tell it to look for evidence of limitation, and it will find it everywhere. Tell it to look for evidence of possibility, and it will find that everywhere instead. Same world, same circumstances, completely different reality, built from the inside out, by the conversation running beneath the surface of everything you consciously say and do. So here is the pattern this book is asking you to break. The pattern of living from the surface down, managing your behavior without ever examining the belief underneath it, trying to produce different results from the same program, telling yourself you believe something, while a quieter, older, more stubborn part of you believes the opposite and wins every time. Dr. Joseph Murphy's message is not complicated. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is the most powerful creative force available to any human being, and it has been working faithfully toward the targets it was given before you knew you were giving them. Give it new targets. Feed it with intention. Speak to it in the language it understands. Feeling, repetition, vivid belief. And then watch what happens when the most powerful part of your mind is finally working toward what you actually want, instead of what you were taught to expect. Now, if this video opened something for you, if one idea shifted how you see yourself, your mind, or the results you've been living with, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment and tell me, what is the belief you have been living from that this video made you question? Because the moment you can name the program, You begin to have power over it, and someone else reading your comment might finally find the words for the thing they have been feeling, but could not yet say. If this breakdown gave you something worth keeping, a like takes 1 second, and it puts this conversation in front of more people who are ready for it. Subscribe if you want to go deeper. Every week on this channel we break down the books, ideas, and frameworks that help you think at a different level and live with genuine intention. The next breakdown is already coming, and if you are watching this, it was made for you. Think differently. Live intentionally. I'll see you in the next one.